Going on, these are new to here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds, and right now we're actually working on rune crafting, and this is our daily gaming XP grind episode 31. So right now we have 412,953 rune crafting XP. We do have our rune crafting potion popped right now, so we're going to be getting really good XP. So about an extra 75 per 50 rune essence. So we already put a bunch of runes inside of a storage chest. So now we're just sort of replacing them and getting rune crafting XP. So it's I like to keep things linked, but it's a little bit harder with this because you have to sort of click slow. If you go quick, it will not allow you to essentially just keep clicking over and over. So it takes a little bit of time. I'm not quite sure how I even feel about that. It would be kind of nice if you could just get it out the way, so that way you're just done with it. But we are going to be continue working on rune crafting, and then we're going to switch over to cooking, as we've been focusing on that heavily in the past couple episodes. So now we've got quite a bit of materials, and we'll probably work on artisan a little bit today as well, even though that's not our primary focus, because we already have artisan at where we want it. I believe it's at 3 million right now, but ultimately we're going to need that so we can make more gear for our mannequins out there. Primarily, we're trying to make more wizard outfits, so it's not really going to align with that, but we still need to process those materials, and it will be giving us XP, so overall sort of works towards the whole progression of it, even though we don't necessarily have a set amount that we want to have build. But once we're done with this, like I stated, we are going to jump over to cooking and then pop a cooking potion and get started on that. We will eventually here have to collect a lot more with dirty water, because we need more, and it can be used with, I believe, the small animal fang. And other than I think it's arrows, you don't really need the small animal fang for anything that I can think of. Potentially a potion, but we don't really seem to use those right now. So I mean, that may take that may sort of become a thing a little bit later on when we're fighting certain creatures, or who knows, different things that happen in the game. It could be a lot of different things. It could be sort of a mechanism where you're going to have to basically have a certain potion to help you with an effect that the game might have due to survival. So obviously we'll keep track of these things and just sort of go from there. So we're going to have to replace a couple more runes now, as obviously our inventory got full. And I believe it was fire, nature, and we can make a little bit of extra law runes as well. It looks like that's kind of what we need. We got enough earth, we got some law runes, so we need nature and astral. You see, I'm clicking fast here, and it's not doing anything. It's because you have to go slow. Otherwise, for some reason, it does not work. But definitely getting quite a bit of XP in rune crafting, and that's one of those skills that when I initially started playing the game, I was not sure how long it was going to take to achieve great amounts of XP. But it's just something we're going to have to keep working on and pushing towards. So we do need to make a little bit more nature, and then we're going to jump back to astral. But it's important to remember to have your rune crafting potion popped, because you're going to get the best amount of XP. And this is one of those skills where it's just a matter of you wasting that extra XP, which I think is actually very important, and you don't really want to let it go to waste. So we've got about 32 seconds to sort of try to get all this rune essence used up, or whenever our inventory gets full. So I think we should be able to meet that requirement as long as we click correctly, because if we don't, then it's going to sort of force push it and not allow us to do it. So can't believe we're already on episode 31 of our daily gaming XP grind, and still so many more episodes to come, and content yet still to come to the game. So we're having a good time with it. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying RuneScape Dragonwilds. I know that we all probably wish that the updates were a little bit faster, and that we had more things to do in the game, and XP sort of allowing us to progress to level 60 or whatever they've decided on that. So now we are going to shift our attention, and we will go ahead and put these in because they were in earlier. So we've got quite a bit of coarse thread, so we definitely can make some progress on our mannequins, but we haven't quite got that far. So what I want to do now is find the chest. Here it is, and we're going to drop all this inside the artisan slots. So it's going to give us quite a bit of XP, We'll bring one of these with us, and then let's take a look how much artisan. Well, let's check for rune crafting. 438,000 rune crafting. That's crazy. 438,000. I mean, I never really thought it would go up so fast, but when you put time in and you're determined, you get it. So a million is our goal. We're still quite a ways away. Artisan 3,058,000. The reason I wanted to just show you where we were is because obviously we want to track the progress that we're able to get in the time that we have spent doing what we're doing. So we are going to be making a ridiculous amount of wool thread, and doesn't really matter which one because I don't think we have enough to fill up all these anyway. So just sort of go with the ones that are being used, and 91 of those. So that's a lot of coarse thread. So that's actually going to be pretty beneficial. So interesting. We might end up using all these, which is actually quite crazy. But that's why we built them anyway. So we would have the ability to sort of do these things when we needed to. Now we're going to go over here. I believe none of them are ready. So we will be creating some leather, I believe. That's right. So we've got quite a bit of leather we can make. And it's nighttime, basically, I believe. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be going to sleep, and then when we wake up, all this will be done. The reason we popped an artisan potion is so we didn't miss any extra XP while we were awake. Because now that potion's gone, because obviously all that time has passed. So let's go ahead and pop our artisan potion again and go ahead and pick up everything that we just made. I don't know if it'll all fit in our inventory. It did fit. So, oh, look at that. It's also just... What in the actual... Look at that, so cool. I've never seen it do that before. That was actually really cool. But yes, our inventory is full. So interesting how it does that. But this is not the spot for these. And it's now a good idea to do that, because what you essentially get is everything mixed up. And that's sort of why we have that problem so often, because we just got so much stuff. I mean, these really need to be turned into their final material. But the problem with that is we've already got so much of it, and I don't really want to focus on that right now, because obviously due to the fact that we are trying to be a little bit conscious of time, I want to make sure we sort of cover everything that we were going to cover in this video, which I think is quite a bit. So let's pull out our cooking potion, and let's start grabbing the meat, the good stuff. I thought I saw something there. I guess it was just my imagination. So let's go ahead and pull out our cooking resources. So we've actually been collecting quite a bit. And let's see how we can use all this together to work on our skill. So let's pop our cooking potion. The reason I want to do this is because obviously some of these things are going to finish as I'm walking by. And if I pick them up just by chance, I want to make sure I'm getting the most XP I can. So we got a little bit of meat stew we can do in that one. And then we can probably just do these. I don't really know the XP you get for the dried berries. It's probably not as good as it would be for something like that. So we will just do those, and we'll pull this out here. And then we're going to be doing a little bit of steak and potatoes. So there we go. Was it farm meat, rather. So that actually, we could probably just leave, because it's going to give us, we're missing charcoal. So we need a sauce. That's all we need. So actually there was some there. We'll use these logs. That should be fine. And now we're not going to be able to go to sleep. So that's all going to take a little bit of time. So while we're waiting for that, we'll put these resources back here that we did not use and save it for next time. And then I guess we could drop these in here, because they really are going to be used for cooking. So let's see. We've got a ridiculous amount of runes now. And let's see. I think we're just going to pull these out and put these into the artisan area, so that way we can start working on it by putting them in the crafting stations. So it's going to be giving us quite a bit of wool cloth. It's interesting how fast you can accumulate resources in this game. Hopefully, I mean, I know they talked about player trading eventually at some point. Potentially, maybe we could trade resources to other players if we wanted a different resource, but and then maybe, we sort of both get what we want. I'm not sure how they plan to really implement that into the game and sort of use it, but we'll have to wait and see. But so we've got all those working, not much more we can do right now. Let's see what we can maybe drop in these. I don't really think we've got lots of bulk anymore. We sort of already took care of that. But I guess we could make some wizard suits. Let's go ahead and see. I think you need rune essence, and I think I just used all my essence. Let's go ahead and take a look. I might not have. Let's look. We got this left, that left. Let's take a look. That's for the most part. I think we did. We do got some clean water. We could probably mix with something else. I know we've got a ridiculous amount of coarse thread now, which is perfect, as we did need a lot more to finish our wizard suits. But I cannot find it, so that's a little bit tricky. Lots of resources scattered throughout my base now. Interesting. I'm not quite sure what I did with the rest of it. We got 25, but I know we got way more than that in this base. So let's just take a second here. All of our other stuff is still crafting, so it's not really like a waste of time. Let's see, I thought we just checked through all this. There we go, there's 50 of it. And I know there was probably a little bit more. I don't see it, but I did see some rune essence. I thought right in here. Yeah, we're going to need that out. And then, let's see. So I don't really see the rest of the coarse thread that I did have. So we're going to check this one more time. I don't see it. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and make this gear really quick. And we've got a cooking potion active. We're probably going to want to pop an artisan potion, because we want to sort of get the most XP we can out of making these. So we are going to need a bunch of this. So I think we can make about 2 of these, and then make the hats for it. And then the legs. And this is just for the mannequins, because obviously we're trying to gear them up. And I think there might actually be a little bit more coarse thread by the mannequins. So that's probably where some of it is as well. So let's jump down here to our army of mannequins. And we actually may have to build some more mannequins, because I don't think we have enough space. So let's start our next row and get that one going. So this can be tricky sometimes, because you want to make sure that they're all somewhat in alignment. That's not too bad. It looks pretty good. And then what I like to do is sort of get the first one in, his footing, and then you don't have to really move anything. You just sort of go back. So that way everything's quite in alignment. We got that one. The only bad thing right now is we're actually using up some of our coarse thread. But we obviously have to do it anyway. So it's really not that big of a deal. And then we're just going to suit these guys up. And we're building more of our mannequin army. It's actually quite fun making this gigantic army of soldiers here. So I think that was pretty much... I think I'm just clicking on the wrong crate. But so we got a hat for this guy. We got to make more. So we've got to get him a chest and some legs. I don't want to... I guess we could run by the cooking stations. Pick everything up. We've got a cooking potion active, so it's not going to hurt us. Here we go. What's this? Crazy 2,000 cooking XP. And it doesn't really sound like a lot, but cooking is not an easy thing to seems to get XP in. So there's probably going to be a great deal more of XP when we run back through here in a second. But I think we might actually have more of these outfits. So I want to sort of see that really quick before I just start making things. Because obviously we want to try to conserve resources and not waste things. So let's head over here and take a look. So we have a hat. Let's make another hat. And we need another leg. And then we should be able to suit up 2 more. And why not? We could just... I popped the wrong one. I meant to pop the artisan. And then we're going to pick up some more resources and then head back over to the mannequins. But this is absolutely crazy. I mean, we don't even have enough room for all the wool cloth. But absolutely wild. So we got all that. So there's like another 11,000 XP. But the only problem is we've already sort of reached our goal. It's like I'm in such... I don't want to just drop all this anywhere. So we'll just bring most of it with us. I don't want to pick up the rest of the stuff that was cooking, because we will come back for it to make sure we have our cooking potion active. And let's head over to the mannequins so we can work on them a little bit more. And let's start loading it up. That was a problem. I forgot to make the rest of the body for someone else. So we are going to need a hat and a top. But you can see it's actually quite fun. You're sort of building this... whoa. Almost went over there and grabbed all of it. But we're sort of building this massive army. So I think as time goes on, as we keep doing these daily gaming XP grinds, we're just going to be maximizing, or like amassing mass amounts of resources. And from that point, then we will have a bigger army. So it just is going to keep growing and growing. So we need a hat and a chest, but we don't have enough coarse thread for the chest. So let's see if potentially we've got one just lying around in here. And I don't think we do. So let's go ahead and just take another look just in case. I don't see one. We got nothing. Okay. So, I mean, eventually at some point we're going to expand the amount of the guys over there, the mannequins. And then from there we can sort of keep building from that. And, I mean, eventually it's going to be a very large army. So we're going to reset these up again really quick. That way we can get some more cooking XP. I think we can use clean water. I'm almost positive. So let's go ahead and bring this out and then go back over here to our other stuff and see how we might be able to use all these different things together to get more cooking XP. But we're pretty much level 50 in everything except range, which has not come to the game yet. So over time we will be getting there, but currently it's not possible. So, I mean, I'll take that comment back, because you actually can get it, but what you're going to have to do is run around and collect tomes from different worlds that you would have to create, and I honestly don't like doing that, as I feel like it sort of takes away from it. I don't like to claim that, you know, I'm this certain level because I went to different worlds. I think that's a little bit ridiculous, so I'm not interested in that. And let's see what else we can do to make this work. We'll do some dwell berries. It won't let me because it needs more fuel. Let's just pop those in there. And then it should be getting night here rather soon. So once it does that, we're going to have to start mixing. I guess we can adjust this later, which we will actually be doing because it's getting a little bit out of control. So we do need a little bit more coarse thread. And we don't have any, but I know we just made a little bit earlier. So it, I guess, maybe went in my inventory. I'm not sure unless I put it away. Let's see. What I do know is once range comes to the game, they have, I mean, I've talked about this a few times. They've discussed whether or not they would be bringing other creatures to the game. And I've sort of heard both things, that they would be bringing a little bit more content to the game. And so I'm not quite sure about it. And ultimately it's going to come down to them. So I guess, I mean, that's really it. I don't have a way to get more coarse thread currently. So we are not going to be able to suit up another mannequin. But it's really not that big of a deal, as there's plenty of other episodes and time to do so. So we're just sort of waiting for that stuff to finish cooking, which is going to take a little bit. We also, looks like we need to make more cooking potions. So how might we do that? Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going to be required. It looks like you're going to need cabbage. I don't think I have any cabbage. I'm not sure. We've got one. So that's a little bit ridiculous. So we're going to obviously have to get more of that, so we can make more cooking potions for future videos. And it looks like it's nowhere near nighttime. So it will be a minute before all those different things finish. I'm just sort of going through my resources. But, you know, I guess we're not really doing anything. So let's go ahead and just go put these 2 pieces of gear on those mannequins really fast. You know, the construction's ready to go. We're ready to reach our goal. But the reason I haven't done that is I've stated before that I just don't want to do it yet. I feel like, one, this guy's missing pants because I messed up. So let's see, we'll pull them off him, put them on here. But ultimately, I'm not ready to do that as for the construction. And the reason for that largely being that we have to wait. I mean, it's an important thing to get done and sort of say, hey, we've achieved it. But I think at the same time, I think it's important to sort of put that off so we can focus on other things. And then we can do that a little bit later. Oh, it's okay. We've got our cooking potion active, but we got another 1600 XP. And I think soon we might be able to go to bed here. And then after that, we'll go ahead and check what we've got. And then from there, we're going to do an XP update. And then that's going to pretty much do it for this video. But lots of things we still need to get. We need to collect a lot more dirty water and collect a little bit more coarse thread and go from there. But obviously lots of different things to still do in the game. And let's see, that cooking potion's still active, so we got a little bit more XP. And it looks like it's getting pretty dark, but it still won't let me go to sleep. So, I mean, we've got plenty of planks. Both of these are almost full. And it's just a matter of time and sort of making that happen. So I just need to be able to go to sleep here. But you know what? While we wait, we can work on a little bit of coordination here, because it's absolutely ridiculous the way we've allowed things to get here. So let's go ahead and do this. Take care of that. And let's see. These can go in here. I mean, we're getting this crazy amount of resources. And I can actually fill up a lot more of that room, because I've got a lot more things that have been completed. That, you know, I've got lots of other materials that are back at the old Zazima's 99 store. So once I bring them over, that room's going to be a lot more full. So we just have to sort of get started on that. So we did get some more XP. We've got 7 of these now. And we are going to try to go to sleep here. But we did just waste that cooking potion then, because technically it will disappear once it turns night. So that's unfortunate. But oh well, we got a little bit more cooking XP. We are going to try to go to sleep now that it's not letting us. Any second now, really. But ultimately, we're enjoying playing the game. And I don't know. I think pretty soon here, we may go back to trying to build our Space Needle, as it does still need to be completed, and it still requires quite a bit of work. So I wish it would just hurry up and get night here. It seems like it sure is taking its time. But I guess by the time it actually turns night, all these are going to be done anyway, so there's still quite a bit to go. So that's a lot of cooking XP for sure. But I think, just for the sake of it, we're probably just going to try to go to sleep one more time, and it worked. But now we don't get a cooking potion active. But regardless, we're going to pick up everything, and then we're going to be doing a cooking XP update. Well, rather, actually, all skill update, just to show everybody where we're currently at. So, attack we didn't really work on, but it's at 256,000 XP. Woodcutting we didn't work on, 800,000 XP. Construction 1,705,000. Rune crafting 438,000. Magic 41,233. Mining 4,038,000. Artisan 3,105,000. So that's actually a significant jump. And then we've got cooking sitting at 133,564. That's the one crazy thing. I don't know. I mean, obviously, once the updates come to the game, I'll be able to level up cooking a lot faster. But ultimately, until that time, I think it's going to be very difficult and a very slow road. But we're sort of knocking it out now, so it won't really be a huge trouble later. But mixed with the new things that come to the game, it'll all sort of work out in its own little way. But anyway, guys, until next time, we really appreciate you guys watching our video and enjoying our content. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. And until next time, Legion Nuta out.